Greece finally gets a deal done while attention remains focused on the looming fiscal cliff. Futures are close to flat as constructive digestion continues to support this new fledgling rally. I'm Brittany Umar, and the morning call starts right now.
Good morning. I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com.
And I'm Brittany Umar with The Street, and together we bring you Morning Call Express. So last Tuesday we talked about the ingredients we would need for a fledgling rally, and it's finally here. So Scott, will it need digestion first, or can it continue?
I think yesterday we saw digestion after Friday's continuation, and then today the futures are basically flat, so we could get another day of it. But as the market's been digesting, we've been seeing some nice movement in a lot of the leading stocks. So if we take a quick look at the chart of the S&P, you'll see that ever since that reversal on Friday and then that Monday follow-through, remember we were together here, Brittany, talking about what needs to happen, and this was 2 days of digestion before Friday. So yesterday, we digested well, and within that digestion, traders were very busy.
Yes, and as you mentioned, within that digestion, there have been some leading stocks that have been acting really well. So what were some of those names that are sticking out to you?
Well, last week I tried to go back to a portfolio approach versus tactical, try and get involved in the stocks that could provide some alpha that are moving fast. And yesterday, while the markets were digesting, you saw a stock like Apple. Apple continued to have a nice move off of that reversal. You look at the chart right here. It's been, a really nice run from the lows. This was your red dog reversal right here. Here was your follow through. Here was your commitment. Yesterday you had continuation. So at this point, I do think we're going to get some resistance into the 200-day, 598 to even, bigger resistance around 610. So I'd like to see you trim some into this area versus initiate. And then you also saw something like eBay, which I'm not long, but it just helped you to see that, a leading stock can make new highs. And then even Amazon, which also one of my high beta friends that held the 200-day, look at this move since the low, showing that you can time market leaders and you want to stay with stocks that are showing the most relative strength during a corrective phase.
And don't forget about Facebook, a stock that you had been focusing on last week, just upgraded. What do you think now?
It's funny how the upgrades start coming in after a big move. And last week we talked about the volume spikes. We talked about some institutions looking at it. And the way you see that, because I don't see what the institutions are doing, I look at the charts. And finally, it looked like it was holding higher, was going to get into its gap. Started talking about how I was initiating last week, probably around 23-ish, right in this area. Here was your sharp move when it didn't break below the 20 area when all the shares were let loose. And then right in here is when I was trying to get my tier 1. Here's your tier 2. Here's when you get paid. Here's where you trim some as it fills the gap. But overall, I think that the complexion's changed. You can see higher prices. You just, missed a big meat of the move if you're just trying to enter here around 26.5.
Now, any setups you see coming in, perhaps within the banks or financials?
Yeah, well, you saw Visa at highs. I think MasterCard is something my traders will watch. You look at MasterCard right here, very nice tight setup. Here it's consolidating near these highs. I think about 488. Traders will go to this one for a momentum trade, 2 new highs. I think the banks are acting okay. I'm long Bank of America. I think that this is hovering by this $10 area. The longer it stays above this 970, I think the higher the probability it busts through $10. I love the weekly chart here. The weekly chart looks really good, showing me that sometime in the first quarter 2013, you can see 1144 plus. So I still think there's a lot of opportunities out there. It's a little bit of narrow, so you have to pick your spots and pick your sectors, but I think there's a lot to like.
Well, we have a whole lot more to talk about, so stay with us in the long version.
Hi, I'm Sean Hendelman of T3 Live, where we train, coach, and mentor traders in order to help you put your money to work with confidence. The T3 Live approach is a blueprint for you to recognize, adapt, and ultimately take advantage of different market conditions. To begin your training with T3 Live, we would like to offer you the opportunity to enroll in our free 30-day online home study course. Fill in your name and email address, and I'll see you on the other side.